Hello and welcome back to another episode of Placement Sundays. Today we have with us Sonia Verma. Could we have a small introduction about you, please?
So hello guys, I'm Sonia Verma and I'm a final year student at IGDTUW and I'm from CSA department and I interned at BNY Mellon and this year I got PPO at BNY Mellon. That's from my side.
So what's your role in the company?
So my role was SDE role that I got last year through the internship hiring process.
Okay.
And my internship was in 2022 from June to July.
You cracked this company through on-campus, right? So what was the procedure? Like how many rounds did happen before you got selected as an intern at BNY?
So first, as I said, first one was the technical round and I had mentioned a project that I have created with another student from another college. So they asked questions based on that because they were very interested in that. So it was a web development based project. So like I had used React and other technologies, so they asked me questions about React and all, and then they gave me a coding question and they asked me to solve it, and then I gave them my first approach, and then they asked me to how I can improve it.
Okay.
So that happened and
Improve the time complexity.
yeah.
Okay.
And it was a mathematical kind of question, right? It was not based on using a complex data structure. Rather it focused on mathematical, like how I can solve on that basis. So my interviewer suggested me that you can do it better. I was not able to reach the exact solution that she was expecting from me, but I did well. So she kind of appreciated me for that, and she focused on my project mainly, and then after some time I got the call for second interview round.
Okay, so in the first interview round,
project and one DSA question. And about me and myself and all those things also.
A basic introduction, and then the following thing happened.
Yeah.
So what happened in the second interview round?
So again, second interview round also, that interviewer was also again interested in my project. Because BNY Mellon majorly works with React and Angular, and I had used React in my project, so they were very interested in that. And he again asked me about my project, how I did, and he suggested me what I should be learning for performing better when I get the internship. So he suggested me you should do Spring Boot and Java and all those stuff. Other than that, he asked me a question and that question was based on hash maps.
Okay.
So I was not able to solve the question in first go, so he kind of gave me a hint. He was very supportive, he gave me a hint, and then I was able to solve, and I was able to pass all the test cases.
It really helps when the interviewer is kind.
They were very supportive and they didn't judge me when I was not able to solve it in one go. They gave me proper time. They told me that you can think for a while and then you can solve, and when they saw me struggling a bit, they gave me a hint. You can do it in this way, and then I was able to do it.
So both the rounds were kind of similar, but it's just that you were shortlisted again, and then the process happened.
Right.
And
also I'd say the level of DSA question was increased in the second round. The first one was easier, second one was a bit complex.
Then third was HR.
Third was completely HR based, and they were very chill. About BNY Mellon people there are very, very chill. And as I entered, they asked me don't call me sir, you can call me by name and all that. And then
in the meeting.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
Not only in the meeting, they told me that it's culture that you don't have to call people by sir or ma'am. You can call them by their name. That's the culture at BNY Mellon. So I proceeded with that, and then he asked me about again my resume, my project, and he asked me different questions about my project. He asked me what have you done regarding security and authentication and this and that. And few questions about that, few trick questions, just to judge how I'm thinking. And then about my other interests, I told him that I was interested in pursuing an acting career. So he asked me, why didn't you do that? I gave him my reasons, and then the conversation proceeded in that way. And about what leadership experiences I have had in the past, and how I lead a team, and all those questions, basically HR based questions. And very importantly, why BNY? Why do you want to choose BNY? So previously I visited their website, and from there I read about their main aim, what their main aim was. So I highlighted that aim in front of him, and he was very impressed by that. That yes, you get what we are actually doing, and that is very impressive.
Okay. And in all the interview rounds, you get a chance to ask some questions to the interviewer in the last. So what questions did you ask?
So like in first two, I didn't get the chance to ask many. I did, like it has been 1 year, so I don't clearly remember, but I remember the last. In the last round, what question I asked. So, like I had heard that even at office level, they were at BNY Mellon, they were conducting hackathons for getting solutions. So I was quite like curious about it. Like, is it true or not? So he told me that it is true. You know, to get certain solutions and to open up people, they conduct hackathons at that level. So I was very impressed because this shows that they're just not focusing on that work part, but also how people are growing and if they're thinking properly.
The growth of their employees.
Yeah, right. So they are conducting those hackathons and other events. So it was more of a confirmation question. Like I was curious to know if they were actually conducting hackathons or not. So he suggested and he told that this is a culture at BNY to not just work, but like to broaden our minds and think together and come at solutions and think about things in different ways. So they do conduct hackathons. And it was quite interesting. And then it ended.
How did you prepare for the coding rounds?
So I was majorly using two platforms, LeetCode and GFG. And like one of my friends, she suggested me a list. She created a spreadsheet in which she basically created different sheets for different data structures like array and then trees, and the levels increased in that way. So we, a group of friends, we were focusing on that spreadsheet only, and yeah, that was very helpful for this. Yeah, like so it that golden friend was Vani Chitkara. She suggested, she created that spreadsheet, and she so she was
very
updating that. She was very helpful, and she was updating that sheet regularly. And yeah, we were doing that. Also, very important thing in that I was doing with every question, it was mandatory for me to think about that question in 5 different ways at least. And I did that, and it was very, very useful. I didn't do it for a long time because it was very hectic to think again and again and again and to keep those things in mind. Like if you are solving a particular question in 5 different ways, you have to remember it at to some extent, ki how you reached that algorithm, how you reached that solution. So this is very important to think about a particular question in different ways. And like, okay, aapne khud bhi soch liya, but go like GFG and LeetCode and explore those also, that how other people are doing it. Yeah, like you can visit the discussion forum for that, and there are many solutions with different time complexities, different data structures, what are the pros and cons of different solutions. So you should go about that.
And what do you think is the best way to solve a coding problem? Like we read a question, then how do you proceed with it?
Yeah, like one advice that I remember is just jump into doing that, right? What people do is कि करते करते अच्छा ये नहीं चला तो हम ऐसे कर देंगे, but what you should do is first think properly कि what type of data structure you are going to use and what basic algorithm you are going to use, and then start the coding part. It should not be a hit and trial process ki okay, this algorithm is not working in this test case, so let's jump on to the different algorithm. No, think about all the edge cases, all the test cases beforehand, and what data structure is best, and then start coding. Don't do hit and trial.
Should we do the question first on pen and paper, like a dry run, and then move on to the coding part?
Yeah, like you don't have to write the exact solution on pen and paper, but yeah, like a pictorial view of how that algorithm is going to work, and think of different test cases. Yeah, pen and paper works. You should have a pen and paper handy, and that is the first thing that you should know.
How did you prepare for the interview rounds? Like there is a particular way in which you say the answers. So
I would say that I was part of the dramatic society of my college, Rahnuma, and I already had that confidence to talk and to converse with somebody with confidence and to be clear. So I would say that society thing kind of helped me to build that confidence, And other than that, clarity is the most important when it comes to interview, right? You should not go in circles while answering. Being direct and straightforward is the key, and you should not sound harsh while being straightforward. So that is also a key. So like practicing with, like, you know, I would say that being in the dramatic society was kind of a practice for me. So if you're not included in any such event or in any such society, you should prepare with your friends, like taking mock interview with your friends and that. So that will help.
Okay.
बाकी मैं तो बोलने में अच्छी हूँ.
ये भी डालूंगी मैं. What did you love the most about this stressful period of placements?
2,000 years later.
Sense of accomplishment, I would say. Like, you've been preparing for this and you have been seeing your seniors doing great things and your classmates, your batchmates. So when you do it by yourself and when you see that you have achieved it, it is like, it is a beautiful feeling, you know. You get that sense of accomplishment. And yeah, and finally you see that, okay, you have something strong in your hand and now you can enjoy. So that is also a very big part of it.
Okay. How did you reveal about your placement and the PPO offer, even how when you got the internship, to your parents and siblings, and how did they react to it?
My parents, I would say, are minimalist. They don't know how to do this and that. So they were like, "Arey, pizza खाएगी क्या? Pizza मंगा दिया, बस बात खत्म." So it was very chill. I mean, they were happy from inside, but they are not very showy in that terms. So yeah, I called my friends and I informed on my, like, the groups I'm part of on WhatsApp. People congratulated me, and yeah, it went like that for me.
And how did your brother react?
He ordered the pizza. So he ordered the pizza. So yeah.
You got the PPO offer from this company, right?
Yeah.
All this procedure was on campus.
Yeah.
The internship and then the PPO.
So the internship was online, in virtual mode. So it was a 2-month internship. I completed my internship. The final step was to create a presentation of the work that we had done and present in front of the panelists.
Okay.
So like on 2nd or 3rd August, I don't remember the exact date, I had my final presentation. So I gave that presentation, and then the panelist members, you know, asked me questions about what, why, and what I have mentioned in the PPT and all that. And on basis of that, and obviously feedback from my manager and all, they
peers also.
Yeah, I guess peers also. They finalized the result, and then they informed that you have got the PPO.
So how happy were you that you did not have to again go through that placement season and you got the PPO?
It was very relieving, extremely relieving, because, you know, these 2 months are the most important months for the preparation for doing that coding and, you know, preparing those core subjects. But because of the internship, we were not able to do that. So all the people who were involved in internships, I think somehow or somewhere they were scared that they have not prepared for the placement season again. They were focusing on their internships. So what if they don't get PPO? Luckily, I got the PPO and I felt very relieved. And it was a very like relieving feeling, right?
I remember that she called me, and when she said PPO लग गया, तो फर्स्ट टाइम मुझे समझ में ही नहीं आई कि क्या बोल रही है, पीपीओ क्या. फिर मुझे ओ पीपीओ वो अच्छा, तो दिमाग में कैद करके मैं यहीं खड़े कैसे घर में ही कूद रही थी. सो फीलिंग तो बहुत अच्छी होती है.
Very, very. And when, you know, you are part of such a company where work culture is so good and people are so supportive, like literally my team was amazing. The work culture at BNY is amazing, superb. So then you feel more proud and, you know, happy ki okay, you are at a good place now, you're in good hands. So yeah.
Okay, one golden tip that you would like to share with the students to ace the placement season?
To never give up. To never give up. And to be with everyone, you know. What sometimes happens is when your friends are getting placed and you are left, sometimes you are like, अब मैं तो किसी से बात नहीं करूँगी, मैं तो अपना हो जाऊँगी, मैं अपना देख लूँगी. No, talk to everyone. ठीक है, सबकी जिनकी लगे it's good, but you know they can guide you and they can provide you moral support, which is very important during these times. So don't go in that lone wolf mentality and be with everyone. बात करो and you know. So yeah, first point, don't give up. Second, be consistent. Never leave coding. For these roles, coding is must. Like very, very important.
Even with the gap of one day, you go behind.
Very true. And coding in general also helps you to develop your brain and all that. So it is good.
Yes.
So make it a habit of yourself and don't take it as a burden. You know you have to do this, right? For these SD or SW roles, you have to do coding. So you have that in your mind. So just don't take it as a burden. Else you can, you know, make it a habit of yours. And then you'll enjoy doing it.
Yeah. Could you tell one thing you loved and one thing you hated about your internship period?
One thing I loved was that, of course, I was getting that exposure to that corporate world, how things actually work on that level, you know. Usse pehle we were just hearing stories from others, but now we were in that. And the bad part is also that I was in that. So, like, you know, I was realizing that my student life and my carefree life is somehow and, you know, soon going to end. Then I'll be a part of the corporate world where I'll have to work 9 to 5 and I will not have a choice. Like when you are in college, you have a choice ki college jana ya nahi jana, but now office mein you have to go. So the good part was I was in it, the bad part was I was in it. So yeah.
Okay.
That is the thing.
It was great talking to you, Sonia ji, and बहुत ज्ञान का भंडार मिला. I hope आप सबको काफ़ी knowledge मिली हो and easy रहा, informative रहा. So thank you so much for being with us. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, thank you.
Do like, share and subscribe and अच्छा ठीक है 1 2
Amen. Do like, share and subscribe to Srishti's Rising Life. And
see you in the next one.
ये तू बोल लियो, मैं वैसे से करूँगा.
नहीं तू भी करियो ना.
हाँ मैं कर लूँगी पर बोल दूँगी.
ठीक है. Got it.
Do like, share and subscribe to Srishti's Rising Life.
See you in the next one. Thank you. बोलो एक बार.
हेलो.
Normally. हाँ. बात कर.
हेलो. हाँ जी बोलिए.
ये शादी का रिश्ता इंटरव्यू नहीं लग रहा तुमको?
वही. हाँ जी बोलिए.
Ready?
इंट्रोडक्शन भी देना पड़ेगा. अरे भाई.
तुमने इंटरव्यू दिए हैं तो इतना क्यों घबरा रही है?
Final year student at IGDTUW. I'm from CSC.
इसका तो पक्का डाल ले. ठीक है. वानी ये वाला क्वेश्चन तेरे साथ रह गया था, मेरे दिमाग से निकल गया.
मुझसे मत पूछो. मैं बोलूँगी कि गूगल कर लेते.
हो गया. देखा अच्छा हुआ ना. ओहो.